by Ung Soo Kyung, and I think he's done enough to get himself into the lead as they go through the first corner. Yep, certainly has. In fact, he's very comfortably ahead. Everybody cleanly away. Nice clean start so far. We've seen both the first two races. We've had a spinner through that first corner. Not this time, though, as they come down to Mandarin for the first time. Ung Soo Kyung is clearly in the lead and already pulling away from the rest of the field. In second place, it looks to me as though Chung Kwok Leung may have got ahead of Ung Hoi Tong for second place. But as they come down to Lisboa for the first time, and indeed he has, yes, Chung Kwok Leung has got ahead of Ung Hoi Tong for second place, and Ung Hoi Tong has spun it. Oh, there's a few cars off here. Car 95 is in the barriers there. That's Chris Young. They're all picking their way through. I can't see which car. Well, of course, that's Ung Hoi Tong. And two have crashed into Ung Hoi Tong. There's no way out of there unless the blue car starts to reverse first. Side by side, though, up the hill they go. And we've got that's a tyre that's going to let go very spectacularly soon. That's the bodywork rubbing on the tyre. The driver needs to be very, very careful here because that tyre will let go very soon. Car number 55, that's Wang Yung-sung. He'll be very frustrated because he'd qualified really well in 5th place, Wang Yung-sung. And he's obviously been involved in that first corner incident. And he really isn't going to have a chance to do anything today. But he's still trying to force his way on, even though the car is not willing. You're looking at Chung Kwok Leung, who has managed to get himself up into second place. A disaster for Ung Hoi Tong, who started on the outside of the front row and was deposed to second place by Chung Kwok Leung and then lost it at Lisboa, out of the race. And Chung Kwok Leung in second place. Behind him, I think, is Steve Nip in car number 50. Is that Steve Nip? Can't tell. I think it is. And then, of course, we've got Wang Yung-sung. But at the front, no question about the leader, Ung Soo Kyung, just pulling away from the rest of the field. There's Wang Yung-sung with that smoking tyre, front left tyre. That's not going to last very long, Ricky.
No, you have to say that guy's mortally wounded. Oh, we've got to head on into the barriers here. Where's that, James? That looks like
Steve Nip. That's up at on the way to Donna Maria, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, is that coming down from the Solitude S's? I think so.
Yeah.
Two of them head on into the barrier there. We were hoping they were all going to behave themselves in this race. And certainly they all managed to get through the Mandarin bend safely. We've got a rerun here.
Yeah, that's Steve Nip in car number 50. He's had a big impact with the wall there. In fact, he's had 2 impacts.
Yeah, there's a head on into the wall
and
there.
Further up, yeah.
Someone had already gone off on the other side of the road.
That's one of the leaders. That is definitely one of the leaders, because Steve Nip was lying in front. He'll be racing, and it's go. One of the cars looked like it was on the move before the lights went out, but we'll worry about that a little bit later on. I believe another good start, indeed it is, by Ung Soo Kyung. Ung Soo Kyung makes a terrific start, and once again, I think Chung Kwok Leung has got ahead of Ung Hoi Tong. So yet again, the man on the second row of the grid, third place qualifier, has got himself up to second. And also a terrific start from the man with the repaired car, Chang Wing-shun. Chang Wing-shun's gone up from 7th to, I think, 3rd. Great start by him.
And the second place driver getting a run on the leader down here. Oh, we've got another fender bender here. Somebody running amok there. A couple of spinners towards the back of the field. But the second place driver maybe is putting the moves going down into the Mandarin Oriental. Through the Mandarin Oriental, I'll be down at the Lisboa now.
Car number 95 there, going through the frame.
Oh, got another 66. 66 turned around.
Yeah, 66, that's Chan Tat Man. Chan Tat Man.
Determined not to stay there for too long, but goodness knows where he's gone to.
Whoa, that looks like a high-speed one, 86. Yeah. He's moved the little rumble strip there, hasn't he? Car number 86. That's seemingly, and he seemingly hit something. So, Ung Soo Kyung up the front, and yet another spin. Well, they really are throwing themselves like lemmings at these barriers, aren't they? Car number 78 there. Just trying to see who car 78 is.
That's spun.
It's Su Chi Ming, yeah. He's lost his front. That's a bit of a no-no.
He's heading backwards down the track. He's going round to the Pizza Hut round the corner, I think.
Yes. He's lost his front spoiler, front bumper completely in that incident. So Wang Yung-sung with the repaired car there in hot pursuit. We've got another one in the barriers. How many is that then? About 6? That's car number 86. He's already had one incident, and well, he's had another one now.
Yeah, I think some of these drivers getting a little bit overexcited, feeling the red mist at the start of this race, and throwing it all away even before they've got round the first lap.
Look at the pressure that Chung Kwok-lung is putting on Ung Shik-kyung on this first lap. It's certainly not what we saw last time round. Here's another quick look at what happened at the Mandarin last time. Who's going to get it wrong this time? Oh, yes. Yes, car 86. That's his first of 2 high-speed spins. That's the C. Seemingly.
Once you've lost
he really has had a very eventful opening lap.
Yes, once you've lost it, you've lost it. The whole concentration's gone, and just when you think you've had one accident and it's all over, you start having another one.
Absolutely. But what is very interesting is up at the front with Ung Shik-kyung coming under a lot of pressure from Chung Kwok-lung. And that is going to be well worth watching. It's not what we expected, although it does seem as though Ung Shik-kyung has managed to get a couple of car lengths out. It's only 0.6 of a second. He's got ahead of Chung Kwok-lung, and then we've got Bobby Won, sorry, in 3rd place in that repaired car. Well, what has happened to Ung Hoi Tong, because he got a second chance as well in this race. He's down in 5th place, so he's gone from 2nd on the grid down to 5th, and he's a full 16 seconds now behind the race leader, which is, he's had a disastrous opening lap. 3 minutes 20. He must have had a spin somewhere along the line. So into this bow up, the leader Ung Shik-kyung under a lot of pressure from Chung in 2nd place, and we've got all kinds of dicing and action going on between cars 60 and 75. That's Siu and Chan, and then another spinner, Dicky So. Dicky So in 10th place on the on the Mandarin exit, which is the most popular black spot, and he's lost it. Ung has lost it, and oh, unbelievable. Chung manages to avoid hitting him, and look who's got into the lead, none other than the man with the repaired fender, Bobby Won. Absolutely incredible.
That was a very cool piece of driving by the 2nd place man. He just managed to avoid getting involved and hitting the other guy.
Would have been even cooler if he kept his foot in and gone down the inside.
Well, it would, but at least he kept it off the fence.
Yeah, and kept himself from hitting Ung as well. And who would have believed it, eh? Who says there's no such thing as a second chance? Bobby Won now opening up as big a lead as he possibly can, but Ung is after him. The gap there, you can see, is probably about 4 or 5 seconds. Let's see what happened here. Very unusual place to lose it. That's Andre Couto lost it there in the Formula 3 qualifying a couple of years ago. Smashed the barrier on the outside. Ung did well not to hit the barrier, but Chung just overreacted. I think he saw Ung losing it and just hit the brakes basically and panicked.
Yes.
Which is a shame, because if he just kind of steered his car to the left, I think he might have got through and be in the lead now. As it is, Bobby Won is leading this race, but Ung is after him. And the man who set the qualifying pace a full 2 seconds faster than anybody else, now in 2nd place on the grid, and has it all to do again. 17 cars still with us in this race from the original 22 that started it. Jim is the last runner down in 18th place, a full 2 minutes 16 seconds behind. Looking again at the spin there for Dicky So in car 61, and looks like Yao was very lucky to miss him there. Yao Ki-hong in car number 51. Very, very lucky not to collect Dicky So. So, coming through the Fisherman's, and it's going to take a bit of work, I think, to get that one sorted out. Car number 93. That was Jim, who was our 18th place runner. So we're now down to 16 cars, dropping like flies here in this Tourism Office Cup race. Coming through to complete lap 2, as Jim surveys the damage in the pit lane, and Bobby Won leads by just over 9/10 of a second from Ung Shik-kyung in 2nd place, and then we have Chung in car number 99 in 3rd place. Chung Kwok-lung, who of course was also involved in that double spin up on the hill. He's lost more ground, in fact, than Ung has as a result of that.
What about that suspect tyre then, James? The lead car, is that tyre going to hold out to the end of the race?
I wonder. It's you lean on it, don't you, quite heavily through right-hand bends, and it's quite interesting, isn't it, that the 2 corners where that tyre is going to struggle is the Fisherman's and our bend, both of which are quite fast left-handers. So right-handers, sorry. So the left tyre will take the loading through both of those two corners, also through the Mandarin Bend. It'll take a fair amount of loading as well. A lot of heat will be building up in that tyre. Let's hope it is able to sustain itself.
So the lead driver will be praying for a miracle at the moment, that the equipment holds up underneath him.
Yes, I think at the moment he's more concerned with just staying ahead of Ung, to be honest. I think he wants to. He's been presented with a golden opportunity to win this race. If he can just keep it pointing in the right direction and not do anything silly. Ung has shown himself to be very fast, but he's also shown he's capable of making mistakes. We've seen that once already in car 62. That's he's got himself a bit stuck there behind that parked car.
And that's on Hospital Hill, is
That's Locock Key. Locock Key up on Hospital Hill. He was in 16th place, last classified runner. But the pace of one is quite impressive. 3:06.467 is his last lap. It's a long way off the qualifying pace, but it's quicker than Ung, that's for sure. Last year's fastest lap, 2:56.751 by Gary Sham. And so we're a full 10 seconds slower than that.
Yes, the race to date running at a fairly sedate pace, isn't it, James?
Well, there's been so much incident, hasn't there? I mean, there's all kinds of situations to be negotiated as Ung gets right close up on the tail now of Bobby Wan, and I think Ung is just going to prove to be a little bit too strong. He's really got that car under him, and notwithstanding the spin he had up on the hill, on Hospital Hill a minute ago, he does really look confident. He looks the fastest man in the field. And Bobby Wan's obviously struggling with that car. You can see the way it's bobbling around as he turns into the right-hander. It's a real struggle for him. So I think the irresistible force of Ung Shu Kyung is going to impose itself soon. Wouldn't be at all surprised if he doesn't actually have a go this time round. He might not be able to do it on the fast section, but he's certainly going to line himself up for a pass either into Mandarin Bend, which would be brave, or into Lisboa, as we see car 93 in the pits. And here comes Ung. He's just getting tucked in nicely behind Bobby Wan there. He might have a crack into... If he does, he's impetuous. It's not the place to pass. He's just going to let him know that he's there, and I think he's going to try and have a go at him down into Lisboa. That's exactly what he's going to try and do. Did he get the drive out of Mandarin? I think he was so busy messing around, letting him know he was there. Now he's going to emerge from the slipstream, come down the inside. Bobby Wan doesn't take any kind of defensive action. As long as he doesn't turn across him, Bobby Wan, in fact, just gives him the position. He really rolled over and let him tickle his tummy, and Ung waves out the window. Absolutely hilarious. Thank you very much for yielding the lead to me. I will now proceed to disappear from you.
You have to say, gifted it to him there, really. There wasn't much of a struggle put up at that point. He let him down the inside, and you've got to shut the door on him coming down there. Just step the car out a yard or so and to close the angle on that, which he just failed to do. He let him go, basically.
Definitely let him go. So, is that it? Or does he now chase, and does he try and take it back? It seemed to be a sort of an inevitability that he was going to get past then. From the moment that Ung closed up on him into the hairpin, that whole sequence was inevitable. Car 72, a spinner there, down at the Lisboa Bend. That's Tam, car 72.
He doesn't want to stay there any longer than he's got to.
That was close. He's just getting himself out of the way, spinning himself around to rejoin the race. But having been passed like that, Bobby Wan is holding on. It's very interesting.
Yeah, you often find that isn't the case. When someone gets past, they kind of lose heart, don't they, and kind of start giving it away. But he's trying manfully to cling on, although I think that Ung is pulling away slightly at the front.
Maybe he feels it's easier and more advantageous to be the hunter rather than the hunted, and preferred to be in second place. He certainly gave it away very easily, that's for sure. Into the hairpin for the fourth time. Ung Shu Kyung leading this Tourism Office Cup race, this 10-lap race, from Bobby Wan in second place, with Chung third, Siu fourth, Chan in fifth place, Louis sixth, Low in seventh, Chung in eighth, Jung in ninth, and Yao in 10th. And that's car number 99 going through your frame. That's Chung in third place. Behind him is car 60, which is Siu. Siu in 4th place, doing very well indeed, having qualified 13th on the grid. His fastest lap of 3 minutes, pretty much flat. But Ung's starting to impose himself now. He's just done a 2-minute 58.6, which is getting closer to the qualifying pace that he showed. He did a 2:56 in qualifying. But Chung's got his hazard lights on. But look at Bobby Wan. Wouldn't it be funny if he went down the inside of Ung going into Lisboa this time around? Something tells me that Ung wouldn't yield the place quite as easily as Wan did last time. But I think he's going to try it, Rupert.
Yeah.
No, he's not close enough.
No, he's not.
He's not really sure. You can just, you can almost sense the uncertainty, can't you, as he comes down towards Lisboa.
That's right, and Ung, of course, positioned his car a little bit further out into the road to cut off the angle and provide less opportunity for him to pass. Might have a bit of problem in the traffic here now, though. Much
more defensive driving, and Ung only just within the rules there, because you're not allowed to pass on the waved yellow flags, and of course we've got waved yellows down at, that's the oil flag, so we've obviously got a bit of oil down on the track here somewhere, but you're not allowed to pass on the waved yellow flags, and there are waved yellows there on the exit of San Francisco for those 2 cars that are parked on the left hand side,
right,
and then you can see just beyond that there's a green flag where it's clear to overtake again, and it was only just there when he went past, so it was close to being an illegal move, that, which would have got him a 10-second stop and go penalty. If he'd passed under waved yellow flags there. So has got away with it, but he's not getting away from Bobby Wan.
No, he's not. Wan putting him under sustained pressure now. These two tied together with a piece of string.
Indeed they are, and setting quite a good pace as well in the 2-minute 58 bracket around this Macau gear circuit, and we expect them to get faster and faster as the race goes on. Just 16 cars now still in this race of the original 22 that started. And the fastest lap so far to Chan, who is a 5th place driver, 2:58.497. Chan is just a second behind Siu, who's in 4th, and Siu is 2 seconds behind Chung. Those 3 circulating very, very close together. Looks like quite a good scrap, actually, which will come into view any second now. It's this scrap now between, that's a back marker, I think. There we go, here's the scrap. Chung, Siu and Chan. Car number 60 is Siu and Chan is 75, so it looks as though Chung actually has managed to get away from them a little bit, but Chan's the man on the move. He's the fast guy, and he's closing up on the back of Siu. That'll be well worth watching. There they are, those two battling for 4th place.
Yeah, the race pace hotting up a little bit here now with the cars dipping down below 3 minutes, and the best lap of the race set by Chan, who's now running down in 5th place in a time of 2:56.735. No, that's a new fastest lap of the race from the leader, who's stepped his game up to a 2:56.735, and it's pretty obvious why, because he's under intense pressure now from Wan in 2nd place. They'll be trading paint if they carry on like this.
Wan got very nice drive out of Mandarin Bend. He got some good speed on the exit. He's pulled out too early. He's uncertain. You can tell he doesn't know what to do, but he's committed himself now. They're side by side. Can't turn in on him now, and he's done it. Bobby Wan is through into the lead. A great move. He picked his moment. I'm not sure when to go, but he went for it down the inside into Lisboa, and this battle has completely inspired Bobby Wan, because he qualified in 3 minutes 1 second, and he's now lapping in the low 2:57 range. Side by side, though, go Chan and Siu into San Francisco. I think Siu got ahead, so there's some overtaking going on throughout the field. In this battle, far from over, you feel that is definitely going to have another go again. He's not going to let Bobby Wan get away with that. Great move by Bobby Wan, though, down into Lisboa Bend, and what an eventful day he's having. He'll have something to tell his family at the end of the day, won't he, over a drink tonight?
He did. He just took his courage in both hands. He thought, I've got alongside him. Will I, won't I, will I, won't I? But when it came to it, yes, he did. He made the pass. It was a a splendid piece of driving. That's like the classic passing manoeuvre in Macau. And that's where you do it, and that's how you do it.
And quite mature driving also from Ung, because he could quite easily have tried to turn across Bobby Wan on the entrance to the Lisboa bend, but he didn't. He let him through and then just nosed in behind him, knowing that there will be another opportunity. That's definitely the place where it's going to happen, down at Lisboa. It is without doubt the passing place here at Macau for a good pass under braking, which is of course the favoured way to do it, unless you've got a big speed advantage in your car. So Bobby Wan leads, Ung is second, Xu is up to third, Chan down to fourth, Louis fifth, Chung sixth, Yao seventh, Jung in eighth, and So ninth, and Low in 10th. Into Melco for the 6th time in this 10-lap Tourism Office Cup race. It's far from over yet. We've got two great battles on the track, the battle for the lead and also the battle for third place.
Well, Bobby Wan absolutely got out of jail in this race after the incident on the first lap. We watched him touring round here, didn't we, with smoke pouring off the front tyre, and he managed quite fortuitously with the race being stopped to get the car fixed, and look what it's done for him.
Indeed. So Ung in second place, finished fourth here last year, has got a bit of experience in this race. And Bobby Wan, who's leading it, this is his first time in the Tourism Office Cup race, and he's doing a very good job, you have to say. Car 75 there going through the shot was Chan Wing Xu. He raced here last year as well, retired unfortunately, but going strongly at the moment. Chan in third place. Watch this though, Ung very close to the barriers, got some good speed, exit speed from Mandarin. He's right at the back of Bobby Wan, and we're going to have a reversal. It's going to happen again, side by side down to Lisboa. Great racing between these two. Fantastic stuff, textbook overtaking manoeuvre. Bobby Wan trying to get a drive so he can have a look up the inside of San Francisco, but Ung was wise to that, and nose to bumper they go through San Francisco and up the hill. Fantastic action here in the Tourism Office Cup race, by far the best race we've had so far today. And there goes Chan in third place with Xu on his tail, in hot pursuit, you could say.
So what's the tactic now, James? I mean, the only one that matters is, can you pass on the last lap, isn't it? I mean, being in the lead on the last lap might not be the right place to be at all.
No, it's exactly right. It's a bit like one of those sort of classic Formula Ford races at Silverstone in the days of the chicane, when it was always the last lap, and it was always the place to be was second, not first, because you knew for sure that you were going to get passed into that chicane. It could well be the same situation here in Macau. It's going to be a grandstand finish, there's no question about that, as we work on lap 7 here of this 10-lap race, with Wan still holding on, with Ung holding on from Wan after that fantastic manoeuvre into Lisboa. The lead has now changed 3 times, I think, in this race, and who knows how many more times it's going to change before it's over. Chan still third, albeit 15 seconds behind Wan in second place. Then we've got Xu, Liu, Chung, Jung, So, Yao and Tam, the top 10. Fastest lap, Ung, 256.735. That's an average speed of 124 kilometers an hour, which is about 90 miles an hour.
It would appear that he's making a little bit of a break now, James. I don't know whether Bobby Wan's getting tired or the tyres beginning to play him up or what, but it would appear that he's just slightly dropping off the back of the lead battle.
In the pits there, another retirement. That's Yao Qihong, car number 51. He was lying in 9th place, and Chan has made a mistake. Went straight on under braking, just left his braking a little bit too late, possibly his foot slipped on the pedal, who knows. But it's given, no question, it's given Xu a chance, and Xu going down the outside now of Chan. Look at that, absolutely fantastic bit of opportunist overtaking. Although I must say Chan actually is crawling now, he's got a problem.
He hit the wall on the inside of the Melco, so he's definitely deranged the front suspension to some extent. Car still going, but loss of concentration there, and of course loss of place, loss of face.
So Chan down to 4th. Can he keep it going for the remaining 3 laps? Xu up in that final podium position. He's got a fairly, looks like his driver's side door is a bit mangled as well. It's not many of them are going to emerge unscathed from this this race. Again setting another fastest lap, 2:55.932. That's faster than his qualifying pace. That's a really good pace indeed.
It looks like almost a decisive part of the race there, with pulling away now from one. And if Bobby One's got anything left in the locker, it's now or never, isn't it, James?
Yeah, it's hard to see, to be honest. I think you're right. I think you read the situation correctly. I think that tyre has finally said enough's enough. And I think if Bobby One is honest with himself, we'd have to say that second place is far more than he probably expected at the end of the first lap, when the race was underway, the first start, and he was nowhere and his tyre was virtually on fire. He got a second chance, and if he can translate that into second place, then good luck to him. That's car 93.
Sorry to interrupt, but a quick announcement for those waiting to see our scheduled program at this time: 2 centuries of architecture in the Netherlands. We do apologise, but because of extended coverage of the Macau Grand Prix due to that race stoppage, we will unfortunately have to cancel that program.
Not too much, but obviously able to keep doing the car any good at all, I don't think.
Yeah, that's a battle for 9th place, in fact. So that's just how that gives you an indication of how far Chan has slipped back now. He's down in 9th place. I beg your pardon, we're looking at the wrong car, Rupert. This is Tam, 72, not 75. This is the battle for 9th place between Tam and Cam. The computer here is still showing Chan in 4th place, even though he was dropping back to the tune of about 4 seconds a lap on that last lap. So Chan is in 4th place, and this is the battle for 9th. Look at these two side by side. Great action. Is he going to make it? Oh, yes. Nice move.
You shouldn't be able to pass there, James, it has to be said.
Well, I don't know. If you get Lisboa right, and the person you're chasing doesn't, and that's not a bad place to just nip them back. They don't expect it, I think.
That's right.
Certainly not a place anyone would expect.
That's absolutely right. It's most unusual to see a passing manoeuvre going on at that corner.
So, lap 9, 2 to go. Leads by 4.1 seconds now from Bobby One, and I think Bobby One looks like he's settled for second place, and very wise too. They've both eased their pace off. Did a 3 minutes flat last time, which is 5 seconds slower than his previous lap, so he's eased his pace off, and so has Bobby One. I think realises that Bobby One is not going to mount any sort of challenge to him now. Siu in 3rd place, looking quite strong, albeit 14 seconds behind the lead pair. And then Chan now dropping back all the time, 9.4 seconds behind Siu in 4th place. In 5th is Louis Pak Ki. And then it's Chung in 6th, Young in 7th. In 8th place is car 61, that's Tommy So. 9th, we've been looking at that battle between Can and Tam. And at the moment, it looks like it's going in Can's favour, although they're still only a 1/10 of a second apart. This is car 75, this is Chan. And that's that bodywork damage that Rupert was talking about from when he went straight on at the Melco. Made that little mistake, little momentary lapse of concentration that's just cost him the chance of a podium from the looks of things, as he's certainly 9.4 seconds behind the podium position, currently occupied by Siu in 3rd place. There's your race leader, pole sitter, finished 4th here last year, and has built on that experience, capitalised on it, and really has had an eventful day himself. It's by no means clear that he was going to win this race in the early stages, although he has been the pace setter throughout the weekend. But finally, when it matters, he's got himself ahead of Bobby One, who was very bold in his passing moves, but he's got himself ahead of him and is now just reeling off the laps. One more to go at the end of this one as he goes through Donna Maria. The second gear left-hander runs it wide out by the Armco, down towards Melco hairpin, crashes down through the gears, hard on the brakes, chucks it in. Don't go too wide, bring it back in again, and then down the hill, picking up the speed all the time. Bobby One having a bit of a messy entry there to the Melco, gets it straight, and sets off again down the hill too. he's quite well clear of Siu in third place, so he looks like he's going to be able to hold on. Although I must say Siu is going a bit quicker. He's 2 seconds a lap faster at the moment than Bobby Wan, but I don't think he's going to be able to close down the 14-second gap that they've got between them in a single lap, not unless Bobby Wan has some major catastrophe.
Well, Ung over the white line up at the Melco, so he played that one a bit long, but he seems really to be untroubled now. He's driving a very well-controlled race. He realises he can reel it off. Starts the last lap now. That's Ung in the Honda Civic on the last lap here in the Tourism Office Cup race.
Yep, 1 lap to go in this Tourism Office Cup race. It's the third of the car races today. We've got one more to come, which is the Ericsson Formula 2000. And I urge you to stick around and watch that, because it could be quite entertaining, I think. Single-seater car race, the first of the single-seater races today. The rest of them have all been touring car races, of course. We've had the Fortuna Trophy. We've had the Macau Cup. And we are in the closing stages of the Tourism Office Cup. Some good racing today, some nice overtaking manoeuvres, some interesting action, quite a few thrills and spills, as always with these support races here at Macau. A few cars into the barriers. Street racing really is a very unforgiving science, and Ung puts his headlights on just to let everybody know he's enjoying himself. He thinks he's done enough to win this race, and I think it would be a brave man that would argue against him. Taking some very odd lines, Rupert. I think he's already sort of thinking about his victory speech. He should actually focus more on getting the car around the corners and getting it across the finish line before he...
Yes, he can already taste the champagne, I think. But Wan still pressing on. I mean, you've still got to hurry along here, because these guys behind, if they're doing it right, they never give up. And you should just pay every piece of attention on this final lap. There's something still to go wrong. You are right, he's running a bit wide through there too, but anyway, he's winding out his last lap now. The Tourism Office Cup is beckoning. You can almost taste the champagne.
Because the Tourism Office very much instrumental, and looks like Wan's got problems. Maybe we spoke too soon. Maybe Wan has got some sort of problem with that tyre. Is it flat? No, looks okay. Maybe he's just... No, he's going slowly, isn't he?
Yes, he was running off the pace there.
Quite a bit quicker.
Perhaps he speeded up again, but the thing to do is just nurse the car home now. At least he can
He's about a mile away, isn't he?
That's second place.
Siu. Siu in third place has made a mistake up at the Moorish Hill, and but he had got past Bobby Wan. So unseen by us, there was obviously an incident there where Bobby Wan had lost ground. Siu had got in front of him, got himself up into second place, and then he made a mistake. Now he's still in second place. Bobby Wan is down to third, but maybe Chan is going to reel him in. So it could be all change at the end of this. And we're waiting for the checkered flag to be thrown. We're waiting for Ung to cross the line. We've got a long shot here, but we don't want to see this. We want to see what's going on with Wan. Is this the winner? Quickly, mate. Throw the checker. That's the one. Thank you very much. Ung wins the Tourism Office Cup, but what's going on behind them? That's the question. There is Bobby Wan, and I believe he's in third place now. I think Siu is second. Where is Chan? There's Chan. Yep. There's Chan in fourth place. So...
have we lost Siu? We haven't seen him.
We haven't... No, he's just crossed the line.
He's crossed the line.
Yeah, he's just crossed the line. 20 seconds behind the lead, the winner. So Bobby Wan, you can see he's fighting that car, can't you? It's
yes, he is.
Struggle. Is he going to make it before he loses his third place? Only just. That was close.
That was close. That was close.
So he still gets a podium slot. Still an enjoyable afternoon's work for Bobby Wan, who, well, didn't look like he would even complete a lap in the first part of the race. But got his second chance. They fixed the bodywork, which was rubbing against the tyre. Obviously, in the end of the race, at the end of the 10 laps, it certainly tried to make itself felt. And temporarily forgets which way the circuit goes. There we are. There's another right-hander there as well.
Yeah, interesting in that head-on shot. You get the impression there with how low the driver sits in the car. They've got these great big advertising results on your screen. Ung, a fairly comfortable victory by something over 20 seconds from Siu. Wan in third place. 33 seconds back. Chan fourth, very close. One just taking it on the line with a sick car, just about holding off Chan. Tommy Sodan in fifth, and Wai Hang Chung in sixth. All in Honda Civics. Looking forward now to the Ericsson race.
Welcome back to the studio. Well, an absolutely
總選咧又係話喺混亂之中，好多車咧又喺呢個松山嗰邊撞過，喺葡京灣又掉晒頭，喺加斯蘭又掉晒頭啦。咁但係咧都冇話造成有啲咩嚴重嘅呢一個係或者啲車手有啲咩受傷嘅事件，呢、個係比較好啲㗎。
好啦，大家熒光幕見到咧就係呢一場嘅旅遊局杯咧，就係所有嘅比賽成績。咁啊，第一名咧就係68號嘅吳兆強啦，咁用咗30分零11秒777嘅時間。咁啊，第二名咧就係60號嘅蕭建清。咁啊，而第三名咧就係尹陽明啊，尹陽新。尹陽明就冇嚟諗住嚟鬥呢一個成龍杯嘅嚇。55號嘅尹陽新就係呢一場賽事嘅第三名啦。咁啊，第四名咧就係75號嘅陳永兆，第五名咧就係61號嘅
葡京灣撞。